Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes, and we are live right now on an international broadcast, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. Guys, you know, right now, here we are, and it is January 1st, 2015. And there's never been a time like today, every single year, that people start to look at their life in what I call a state of reflection. They start to look back at the year that they've had, and they start to do a little bit of a checkup from the neck up to see if they have been able to achieve a lot of their goals, their dreams, their desires, and where are they at. This right now, guys, is a state of transition and a state of what's called a breaking point, where people are literally drawing a line in the sand to change their life. They get to a point where they say, you know what, enough is enough. And they will no longer stand for the reality the way that it is any longer. Now, today, what I've done here is I'm literally going to open the vault here, guys, today. Okay? I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I was able to start a business just 2 months ago. 2 months ago, guys, from a complete flat start, and in that period of time, go from zero to over $24,000 cash and a $3,000 monthly residual income on complete automation. Now, what do I mean by complete automation? The majority of the sales that you are about to see happened while I was sleeping, and they happened while I was doing errands. So when I was out and about, you know, with my son or out for lunch or dinner, I'm talking about complete automated cash flow coming in, right, while you're doing other things. And that's really the key as to what's called leverage, okay? So one of the things that I learned in my 20s, I had a great millionaire mentor, and he talked to me about this guy by the name of J. Paul Getty, who said that I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And I want you to really think about that, because if you're currently working a 9-to-5 type of job, or you're working a salary, if you don't go into work, you don't get paid, okay? Now, with the power of the internet, with the power of video, with the power of social media, you can actually learn how to clone yourself. So imagine, you know, you've got some special DNA formula, and you can call the lab, and you can say, hey guys, listen, you know, I'd like to order up 50 more versions of me. Can you have those ready on the 15th of January, please? Right? I want you to think about the power of that. What would happen for you in your reality if there was 50 more you that looked like you? Okay, so this is an example right here, right now, of something called a Google Hangout, which is something that we teach in our training. After this is done, guys, now keep in mind, this is being broadcast all over the world. Right now, there's people tuned in from all over the world, but it's going to clone me. So after we're done here, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds and into the thousands of people that watch this later tonight, tomorrow, next week, next month, and it's going to keep on working for me while I'm sleeping. That's the key here. That's called leverage, okay? Now, this isn't like conventional networking or network marketing. This is actual marketing you. You are the product, and the product is leadership, right? So what we show people how to do is to clone themselves, to leverage the power of the internet, and to teach them and train them on how to become world-class marketers. Now, I was very fortunate, guys. I had some really good mentors and really good coaches that helped me learn a lot of these strategies, and by the time I turned 35 years old, I became a self-made millionaire. Now my goal has switched onto teaching and training and helping and mentoring other people so that they can truly step into their power and step into their greatness so that they truly can have financial freedom as well. Now, tonight on the panel, you're going to have an opportunity to meet a couple of people that are partnered with me here right now, a couple of people who have, Tony Cohen as an example, has already made multiple millions. So you'll be able to tap into his mindset. Right here, guys, this is 95% of business, right here, your mind. What are you thinking about? What's going on in right here? So Tony Cohen, welcome to the call from New York City, and also Mary Barnett, who's just going through and learning a lot of these strategies. She's going to be able to share with you some insights of a person who's really just gotten started in the last 2 or 3 weeks to share with you from a newbie's perspective of what's happened in her life since she tapped into the millionaire mindset. So, Tony, maybe you can just share with us here, because I know that you've been involved in numerous different ventures, from real estate to direct sales, door-to-door sales, all sorts of marketing strategies. What has been the main distinction that's really set this path apart from anything else that you've ever worked on when it comes to the iPass system with the Empower Network?
This, thanks, Darren. So the main difference for me here is, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the main difference for me here, in my 20s, and you know this story's been told numerous times, I've done a 0 to sort of almost 30,000 a week, $28,739 a week. I've done that in 8 weeks from 0. So number one, my perspective of being able to do this sort of stuff is there. It's not, you know, if someone that's not been through something with a closed mind when you approach them and say 0 to, I don't know, what was your last week? What was last week?
Last week was over $12,000.
$12,000 in 7, 8 weeks. So it's beyond some people's comprehension. But what I will tell you is it was just sheer persistence and determination that got me 20 to 28,000 a week in 8 weeks. And the last week, I worked 138 hours. The week before, I managed to get us all thrown out the office building because we grew too fast. And literally, I just didn't care. I just had this thing that I had to beat everybody else. Every other office in the country, I was the last one to start. I just had to beat them. So 138 hours that week. The week after, I worked 2 hours, and I still made the same amount of money. But we got the momentum going. What I love about this, and you hit the nail right on the head, you know, over the last, since I got out of Wall Street, since I walked out of Wall Street, which is now 2.5 years ago, I've been trying to automate things without knowing how to automate things. So every time I've started an online business, thinking this is automating it really isn't. What I end up doing is answering more phone calls, dealing with more texts, dealing with, you know, whatever it may be, messengers, which I have no problem with. The challenge I have is I like to do other stuff. So if I'm some days spending, I mean, on what day was it? I think it was New Year's Eve, it may have been. It was one day I spent 15 hours straight on Messenger, clearing up my other stuff from last year and trying to automate it. So what I love about this, more than anything else, is the fact that every single time, bar none, every single time I've been paid on this program, I've been doing something else. And I'd say 30% of the time that was sleeping. For some reason, I'm getting paid from different places in the world. There was one at 4:03 a.m. the other morning. I'm thinking, who's doing stuff at 4:03 a.m.? Then I just realized it doesn't even matter. So, you know, my thing with this is there's a couple of things, and you know, it's relatively new. I don't want to be working 130 hours a week. I just don't. You know, I'd rather be out having dinner 130 hours a week, to be honest with you. I don't want to be doing that, so I didn't want a business that was going to do the same thing. And sometimes that has happened where it's dressed up as one thing, you know, and the people that label things as, you know, no effort whatsoever or this, that, and it's fully automated and da-da-da-da-da, and I bought into some of that stuff in the past and realized it just isn't. You know, do this, then do your follow-up, then do your follow-up on your follow-up, then call them this and do this. And I'm just going like, it's not my strength. You know, I connect with people, I touch base with people, I connect with people, I chat with people. And if or when they ask what it is I've got going on, I'll chat with them a bit more, I'll send them a link, but I don't chase them down. Because I just think I don't want to be pestered by people if I'm looking at something. So send me something and you get a yes or no. With this, I send the video out, that's it. I'm done. You know, and if they ask me any questions, I just tell them to look at the video again. So what this is allowing me to do when you know, my goal was to retire today, and things, you know, for whatever reason last year, there was a few little blips on my goals, and I didn't hit all of them. I did hit more of them than those that had no goals whatsoever. But so I'm looking now is, you know, 3 months, 6 months down the road, my year is still planned out the same. The goals I set for the year to be on a bike ride down the West Coast for 3 months are still the same. The way I look at it now is I really wish I'd have grasped the technical side of things that I stayed away from for years, because it's just, I'm not a tech guy. And it became overwhelming for me when people start talking about things I don't know what the labels are. So with this, I look at a video, I have really no idea what it is, and people, I don't understand it, so I just get in, do a 7-day test. All of a sudden I've got, this is how you set up autoresponders video. This is how you set up funnels. And I'm thinking, you know, over 5 years, I bet I've lost 5,000 email addresses through just not putting them in the right place, not doing the right thing, not follow up. Or I was talking to someone the other day about this. I could literally do a year's worth of newsletters right now and set it all up so it goes out at a certain time, whereas sometimes my best ideas come out at 4 in the morning. I'll do a newsletter and send it out at 4 in the morning so I don't forget. No one's getting them. So this automated system I'm already finding is working for everything I'm doing. So for me personally,
what you're saying then, Tony, is that you've been involved for a short period of time, you're making money while you're sleeping, you've got automated cash flow coming in right out of the gate, and this is unlike anything that you've ever seen. So that's fantastic. Guys, what I want to do here is I want to go over to Mary quickly. Mary, can you just unmute yourself really quickly?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay, Mary, what I want for you to do here, because we've got people that are tuned in right now from all 4 corners of the world. And one of the biggest things that people say in their mind is, can I do this? What type of skill level do I have to do? Can I implement this so that I can make money while I'm sleeping, so that I can make money while I'm at work, so that the income can slowly build up over time, and then I can leave my full-time job when I have another stream of income? Talk to us a little bit about that, because this is a first-time thing for you. You're a brand new person. You're a brand new newbie with this type of situation of automated income. Share us a little bit about that. How long did it take you before you started to receive autopilot commissions coming in without you picking up the phone, without you harassing friends and family? How long did it take for you before cash flow actually just started to show up in your email?
Well, 15 days is when I really noticed a difference. I believe anybody can do this. I mean, I've been online now for since 2006, and this is the first time I have experienced anything like this. And I almost kind of want to cry about it, but not from a sadness point of view, just because, you know, I can really just so connect with it, and it's all the training that comes in here, and I'm gonna cry. The Darren Little's mentoring has really made a huge difference in this. I really resonate with what he says, and it really goes along with the system, because in the system there's connection and training that's just not available out there. I mean, there's people in there that have the success. You need to be around people like that. I mean, it really is everything that's in your mind. I mean, the people I was connected with before, I mean, it just didn't feel genuine. It didn't feel sincere. I mean, it didn't feel real. And there's just something inside of you that tells you that, and you just can't progress any further because there's just something inside of you. And getting into this, it has been a massive learning experience. I was distrusting at first, so I had to reconnect with myself and learn how to trust again and listen to myself. And it's just phenomenal. I mean, I woke up this morning to 4:15 a.m. having, commissions. I mean, it was just freaking phenomenal. I'm getting them while I'm working. I'm getting them while I'm doing things that I want to do, So, I mean, it's more than just the money for me. I mean, it's the connection with like-minded, genuine people, Gosh, Darren, is there anything else I could say? Do you have any other questions?
You had a really, what I consider to be an amazing breakthrough today, Mary, because I think a lot of the things that we've been talking about, the power of the mind, how we can speak our realities into existence, and what's the secret? How does the secret work? How do you get the reality that you want? How do you break through fear to step into your power and step into your greatness? And I think that today for you was a major monumental moment, because I can tell in your writing, because your writing is changing, your writing is shifting, your message as a leader is now moving into a higher level. So just share a little bit about that. And then, guys, if you're viewing right now, here's what I'm going to be doing, just to let you know. I'm completely opening the vault, guys, okay? I'm going to share with you, and I will tell you this. If you are watching and you have a Facebook account, I would highly recommend that you post this link on your Facebook page, because I'm not kidding, guys. I am opening the vault. I'm going to show you exactly the strategy that I used to go from nothing to over $24,000 in less than 2 months and create a $3,000 monthly walk-away income, okay? Now, keep in mind, a lot of people don't even make that working a full-time job. I'm going to show you how I was able to do that in 2 months, okay? So, Mary, just share a little bit more about your breakthrough that you've had here just in this last 24 hours.
Okay, is it okay if I just read what I wrote? Because, sure. I mean, that's freaking awesome. I mean, I couldn't say it any better. I'm just going to read what I posted today. When I was a child, I had amazing visions and belief of how my life was never ending, was to unfold, and somehow I forgot about that, as we all do when we get older. Along my years of journeying back to this never-ending powerful tug from the universe, I have learned to reopen my heart and trust it. This was a massive key for me. I mean, I can't even express how big that was for me. Darren is the first person I ever heard say, be bulletproof. I had never heard that term before, and that was another massive key for me. And just a little word on that, I was trying to figure out, how do you do that? I mean, I couldn't figure out, how do you do that? How do you be bulletproof? What does he mean by that? I've always viewed the past as a learning field for everything, but I have learned, thanks to Darren, no longer to let what others say, think, and do affect me. I have learned that I can be compassionate without compromising myself, and I mean, that's what being bulletproof means to me right there. And I really give credit to Darren for that right there. But at the same time, I chose a long time ago to journey back, to journey back to those dreams that I had. And The iPass system has the energy and knowledge of countless successful people, all in one spot that resonate with the direction I have been going. I see phenomenal things happening with the system. I see Darren as a phenomenal leader, and I'm forever grateful for getting connected with him and his training. So, wow, I look forward to this share. It's going to be freaking awesome. It's going to be freaking amazing.
Guys, you know what? This is really the key power of this industry, guys, because I will tell you that it's not just about your cash flow, guys. This is what I will tell you about going to the next level in your reality, taking your life from maybe $100,000 a year to $500,000 or $1 million. Guys, this is called next level thinking. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, and there's not a better time than the very first day of the year to be able to share these strategies with you to completely open up your mind, guys. To completely open up your mind, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so let's go live. Okay, guys, so the theme that we have today for this particular webinar is Thunderstruck, because I want you to think about the power of the thunder and the lightning, because that's truly what has to happen for you in your reality. You have to literally draw a line in the sand and say, I will no longer stand for this in my reality. I am done. You have to get to that point where you are just, you've reached your breaking point. That's really what it takes, guys. Because people can be complacent with the reality the way that they is. And maybe they're making $100,000 or $150,000 a year, and they just sort of get comfortable. They're really spinning their wheels. They're not getting any further ahead, but they're just living. Okay, now if you're making less, if you're making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, I can tell you this. Not only are you struggling, but you're probably on the verge of bankruptcy, because a family cannot live on that type of an income. So they go further and further and further in debt on their credit cards every single month. And then it goes into missing a mortgage payment, and then a couple mortgage payments, and then the car payment, and they're going down a rabbit hole and basically into bankruptcy. So what I want to be able to do here is I want to show you how you can step into the new year with automated income. Income that you're making while you're sleeping, income that you're making while you're at work, and I'm going to show you the exact strategy that I use to go from nothing to over $24,000 cash, and in 58 days, guys, and a $3,031 monthly residual income. Now, my name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, also known online as the MLM Superhero, and I'm going to show you how you can build a business while having a life. Now, guys, I just had my son here in town. He came in town from San Diego. He was in town for 11 days. How many fathers out there could have their son come in town and have breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day? Every day. You know, be able to go to a matinee in the daytime, to be able to go out for dinner and a movie. 11 straight days of hanging out with my son, and I made over $12,000 that particular week while I was hanging out with my boy. One day, I made $7,163 in a single day. Now that's more than a lot of people make in an entire month. Well, have no fear, the MLM Superhero is here. I'm going to take you right behind the scenes, guys, and I'm going to open the vault and show you how this is done. Now, if you stick around to the very end, this particular webinar called Unstoppable Vision will literally clear away the fog for you. And there's no purchase required for you to be able to get access to this webinar, guys. It's a $297 free bonus that I want to give to you as a gift just for showing up here today. Because I feel that 80% of success really is just showing up, right? If a person just shows up, I can take that person from wherever they are at to financial freedom. I've even helped people go from homeless, completely homeless, and 6 months later, they've made $20,000 in the month from completely homeless. So I'm not kidding you here when I tell you that this information is completely transformational, and if you tap into this and you tap into our team, I can tell you this. Today, mark your calendar, because your reality will never, ever be the same from this day forward. Now, first thing that I'm going to tell you about business, guys, is that it's 95% mindset. 95% mindset. And what you believe to be true for you. What do you believe? Because we're already showing, we've already created 15 millionaires with our program. We have multiple, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, from single mothers to people that were broke and destitute, people that were $40,000 in debt that have $500,000 2 years later. We have people that have gone from bankruptcy to financial freedom, but they believed in their mind when they saw this that they just got their ticket to freedom. That's what I believed when I found this program. I believed in every single cell of my being that this was going to be the ticket to take me to a 7-figure automated income. And I believe that wholeheartedly. So you've got to ask yourself, what do you believe to be true? Now, there's 3 key areas that you need to master if you're going to have success in business. You've got to be able to master your thoughts, you've got to master your words, and you've got to master your emotions. The business stuff is one part. This here really is the key. This is your gateway right here to understanding how to make 7 figures. You literally have to be thinking about what you want, speaking about what you want, and being emotionally connected. Your physiology in your body has to be connected to your future reality. This is the key component, guys, to creating wealth right here. Mastering your thoughts, mastering your words, and mastering your emotions. Now, this gives you an idea of the industry in general. Okay, now I like to show you this to create what I call the baseline, okay? Because you're either going to believe this or you're going to believe something else. And I'm going to show you how to break through that so that you can create whatever reality that you want for yourself. All these companies out here are name brands, you know, Organo, ACN, Melaleuca, Visalis, USANA, Amway, Ambit, you know, Agile, Isogenics. These are all name brand companies. This comes directly from the Direct Sellers Association. So this isn't made up stats here. 0.1% of all of these companies, guys, 0.1% of their affiliates earn more than $400 a month. 400 bucks. Not a lot of money, right? Now, you can either believe that and buy into that there's hardly anybody out there that's making any money, or this is what you can believe. These 2 words, this is what made me a millionaire at the age of 35 years old. This right here is what put me into a situation where I've made almost $4 million in a single year. 2 words right here. What if? What if everybody that I talked to wanted to join my business? I mean, that would be a really good position to be in. But what would it feel like? Imagine that feeling in your body. What if everyone I talked to wanted to join my business? What if my phone was ringing off the hook with incoming calls? So visualize your phone right now, and it's ringing. You got somebody on the phone, and it's beeping that there's a call alert. There's somebody else trying to get a hold of you. I'm sure you've had that happen in some time of your life. This is what I think about every time I get up in the morning. These are the questions that I ask myself every single day. I literally proclaim them. I speak them into the reality. Now, what if leaders were calling me from all four corners of the world? Now, because of the fact that we have the internet, it's completely global. So what if you were getting incoming phone calls, Skype calls, Facebook chat messages from everywhere, all four corners in the world, where people wanted to join you as a leader? What if I could recruit new reps in minutes? Now, a lot of times when I say that, a lot of people go, oh, yeah, right. And then they see me do it live, where I recruit somebody in 3 minutes live, and they go, oh my God, I can't even believe I just witnessed that. I talk about this in one of my products called Speed Recruiting, where I actually teach you how to become a top recruiter. What if money was flowing to me in avalanches of abundance? Now, I want you to think about what that might look like, that an avalanche of money that was literally pouring onto you. What if I could create a $10,000 monthly residual income within a 90-day period of time? Okay, now, guys, I can tell you this. I've done that in as fast as 30 days on a variety of different products and affiliate programs. So I can tell you that it's very, very possible, right? It's very possible, right? Now, this is what happened for me in 57 days, starting from scratch, a complete flat start, right? So 57 days ago, I rolled out this campaign, and in that period of time, it's generated $24,348 cash and a $3,000 monthly residual income. Not bad, right? Not bad for a startup, right? From start to now, okay? Now, last week, I had a $12,344.90 week. What are the possibilities, guys? Think about that. What are the possibilities here? If that can happen that fast, what's going to be the situation in a year or 2 years or 3 years from today? Now, I will tell you this. Individual results are obviously going to vary, okay? Now, if you believe that you're going to have stumbling blocks, if your mind is going, oh, this probably won't work for me, oh, it'll probably work for everybody else, but it won't work for me, right? You're broadcasting that out into the universe. Now, we talk about this extensively in our training to help you to be able to master your mind, to master your personal power so that you can start to get results too. You've heard from Mary. She's only been under the Millionaire Mentoring and Training Program now for maybe about 3 weeks, and you can hear it in her conviction as she's talking. She's talking from her heart. That's the difference, right? She's talking from her heart, and guess what's happening? The income is coming in and pouring in now for her. This just happened to be the first day after Christmas, where I generated $3,991.45 in a single day, guys. I want you to understand what could be the possibilities for you. Maybe, I always believe that there are no coincidences in life, and maybe you got the email today because you were really asking the universe for your personal breakthrough. And voila, here you are today learning about this type of strategy. Now, I proclaimed when I started that I would go from nothing into the top 10. Now, I want you to think about that, because that's what my intention was when I started my business. I said, I hereby proclaim that I'm going to be in the top 10 of these affiliates within a 90-day period of time. And within a 58-day period of time, I ended up in the top 6. That's called the power of intention, getting emotionally connected to what do you intend to have happen in the future reality. So I tap into what would that feel like? What if? What if I was in the top 10? What if I went from hundreds of thousands of people and I ended up in the top 10 people within a 90-day period of time? What would that feel like? Wouldn't I feel like Rocky on top of the mountain? Wouldn't I be just cheering, yes, yes, yes? What would that feel like in my physiology and my body? Now, this is a campaign, this is another affiliate product, but I want to talk to you a little bit about this because I want you to understand two key areas. One is called test marketing, and the other one is called breaking inertia. Breaking inertia. Now, anytime that you roll out anything, guys, anytime that you roll out any company, any product, it doesn't matter if it's a retail store, a hotel, a motel, a nightclub, you will always go through this, and it's important for you to understand this as an entrepreneur, that you're going to have an invisible barrier that's going to be pushing back, that you're going to have a massive amount of front-end inertia in order to break that inertia to move forward into forward momentum. And it typically is around the 3-week mark, okay? It typically is around the 3-week mark. If you're talking about your own personal power, just you. Now, when you're talking about bringing a collective energy together of other people, okay, I can tell you on average it typically takes about 60 days. So we had within our team, today, we broke inertia. Today. It took 60 days for me to break inertia from the team. So it takes 3 weeks from personal and about 2 months from the team to get forward momentum, okay? So you can see here in this particular product, the first week there was only, what, $115 worth of sales roughly, right? I don't know what, maybe more, 120 or so. Now, a lot of people would go, oh, it doesn't work. Oh, I'm wasting my time. Right? So you got to be thinking about this. I understand this, and I want to show you this to show you what really does happen. Now look at week 2. Now keep in mind, I'm taking a massive amount of front-end inertia as those numbers. I don't even pay any attention to those numbers, okay? Because I already got my focus on what I know is going to happen based upon what's happening in my physiology in my body and what I'm proclaiming into the reality of what is. Look at week number 2. It's the same. It's hardly anything. It's a couple sales, right? But look what happens at week 3. I clear $1,000. By week 4, it's up to about $1,600. By week 5, it's at $2,300. By week 6, it's over $2,700. And by week 7, it's hit $4,600, guys. That's important that you see a visual of this so that you will realize that this is real. You will have an invisible barrier that's called breaking inertia. It's an invisible wall there that will give you pushback. And if you don't take a front-end massive action, front-end massive momentum, that wall, that invisible wall, you won't break it. You will not break it. You got to understand this, that you're going to have to take that front-end inertia. This just happened to be another affiliate program, but heck, you wouldn't think that, you know, within less than a 2-month period of time, if I only made like $120 my first week, that by the 7th week that I'd be at $12,361. You wouldn't think that in your mind, would you? But that's reality. So I want to show you that because it's important that you understand that. Now, I want to explain to you what makes this so unique and different with what it is that we do. The whole premise behind making money online is for you to get qualified buyers to a lead capture page. That's it, okay? Now, we're going to show you a number of marketing strategies in order to be able to get qualified buyers to a lead capture page. Okay, so this is the key. So you've got a lead capture page, and then you're going to go into a $7 trial. Okay, now people can fully try out our system for 7 days for $7. They can go through all the videos, they can go through all the education to really get into the right mindset to understand, A, why do people fail with online marketing, and what has this particular system done to bypass that failure and put people into cash flow. okay? And a lot of times it happens within 24 to 48 hours in the event that they follow the training. Within 24 to 48 hours, they can be into cash flow. Now, that $7 trial is going to turn into $47 monthly sales, residual income. It comes out to, with the processing, about, I think, $32.90 per person per month, okay? So that's going to start to pay for your marketing and advertising campaign. Because as you put money into marketing, right, or time, one of the two, money or time, it's going to start to create a budget for you that you can reinvest back into your business, right? So you've got trials and you've got those turning into residual income. And then you've got a product sale called six-figure shortcuts. This fast tracks people and it gives them the training so that they can get to a six-figure income. Those are going to start to create automated sales for you too. So somebody opts in, they say, yeah, I want to take the $7 trial, and then partway through the sales funnel, it's like, well, hey, hold on a sec. You know, you really need the six-figure shortcuts because it's going to fast track your path. So a lot of times my phone will go off and it'll say, congratulations, you've just made a $7 trial. And then about a minute will go by and it'll say, congratulations, you just made a six-figure shortcuts upsell. Right? So that right there, guys, just so you understand this, that is going to fund your company right there and generate leads for you. So you're going to be generating a list and generating income to pay for your marketing and advertising budget. Now, once you go to the next level and you watch 5 videos, right, 5 educational videos on the $7 trial, one of the coaches from iPass will call you to go over your goals and your dreams and what it is that you want to be able to do. Now, we have a number of different training products that will educate you. I say to people this: if you want to increase your income, you need to increase your value. How are you going to increase your value? You need to learn new skills, guys. This right here, as an example, is what I call a value-based webinar. Right? I'm educating people so that they can really understand the psychology of what do they need to do in order to become profitable. What do they need to do to be able to make $10,000 a month? What do they need to be able to do to make a 6 or even a 7-figure income? And it's scalable. What does scalable mean? That means that if I put, say, $500 or $700 into traffic and I get certain results, I can start to take that money as it comes back in and reinvest it back into the business with a higher amount. Maybe I put in $800 worth of qualified buyers or $1,000 worth of qualified buyers, and I build my list of prospects, and now it starts to generate income in that first section. Now, this is where about 60 to 65% of the revenue is actually made from the actual training products. So in 1995, you become an affiliate, and there's 4 different levels that a person can participate at. The pro level, which gives them a blog platform so that they have a voice, and some mindset training so that they can start to step into their personal power and share their personal breakthrough to inspire and motivate other people. Then there's the silver package, which has a product called the Costa Rica Intensive, the gold package, which has a product called the 15K formula, and then the black card, which has all the products and our master's course training that's $3,995. Now, guys, that's what I did, okay? Because I followed the mentoring. I said to the 7-figure income earners, I said, guys, well, how do you do this? How do you make 7 figures a year? And they said, well, here's what you do. First thing that you do is you set yourself up for success, and you get the black card so you can start to have $3,000 days. Do you want to have $3,000 days, Darren? I said, absolutely. Right? So they said, well, get the black card. Now, in my first 3 weeks, I had my first $3,000 day. Since that time, in the first 2 months, I've had 4, but one of the days was $7,163. So I feel that I'm following the mentoring, I'm following the coaching, and I'm getting the types of results that they talk about. Why? Because I surrendered my ego, I surrendered my pride, and I just followed the instructions, guys. I just followed the instructions. I didn't say, well, hey, thanks for the great mentoring. I know you've made millions of dollars, but I got a better way. I'm going to go try this another way. I've got a better strategy. I didn't do that. Okay, I didn't do that. Now, I want to give you a visual so that you can really understand what is going to happen. In that big circle, you will see what I call a marketing menu. Okay, so there's social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google. We're on a Google Hangout right now. There's blogs, there's press releases, there's articles, there's print advertising, postcards, all sorts of different strategies. You're not going to eat every single thing off of a menu when you go to a restaurant. You're probably going to pick an appetizer and a main course. You may or may not even have dessert. Okay, so I want you to think about this like walking into a restaurant and the waiter gives you a menu and you're going to decide what you want or what you prefer on that menu, because some things you might not even like on the menu, right? So to get the results that I've gotten so far, here were the strategies that I used personally. I used paid traffic, and I used social media, and I used email. Just 3, right? So I used paid traffic to take qualified buyers to a lead capture page. A certain percentage of them were going to opt in to see the video. A certain percentage of those people were going to get the $7 trial. A certain percentage of those people were going to get the upsell, and a certain percentage of those people were going to buy the Pro, Silver, Gold, or Black. Okay? So the more qualified buyers that I could get to that lead capture page, the more conversions that I start to have that go into sales. Now, what I had done before, typically with my marketing and my blog, was that I would give something of value away for free. I gave away a copy of my ebook called MLM Affiliate Magic, but after I gave that away, I would still have to email the people to try to build rapport and a relationship with them to get them lassoed back around so that I could talk about what it is that I'm doing. There was no income in that. Does that make sense? The iPass system has bypassed that. So the moment that people opt in, you're starting to make income from the conversions of the $7 trials. That's the key to the system. So after the $7 trials, those start to turn into $47 monthly sales residuals. Then there's going to be the upsell into the 6-figure shortcuts, the call from the iPass coach, the upsell into the products. The autoresponder is going to follow up. That's like loading messages into something that's going to send out those emails automatically, and people are going to get taught this particular process, and you're going to start to benefit from pass-ups from your team. Just an amazing model, guys, an absolute amazing model. But that will give you a visual so that you can really see it. A lot of people see in pictures, and when they can see the whole cycle of how this works, it makes it a lot easier for them to understand how simple and duplicatable this process really truly is, and it takes a lot of the mystique away. Okay, so here is an example of a little bit of marketing. I want you guys to understand the psychology behind this, because what I do with my marketing is I completely open the vault. Okay, I call it complete vulnerability. I'm not into hype. I'm not into, bells and whistles and, you got to get in, you got to get. I'm not into that, guys. All I can tell you is factual information. What did I actually spend? What was the return? Those are the type of numbers that I want as a business person, right? So this was a post that I put out on Facebook, and it said, and I was using a strategy called piggyback marketing. I want to piggyback, in this case, off the Flintstones. Okay, so it said yabba dabba do. It's official. My underground marketing campaign that I've been rolling out the past few days has been a huge success. In fact, it's my very first profitable paid marketing campaign online that I've ever done. Ever. Not kidding. What's even better was that it was completely automated. I can tell you there's a lot of people out there that have a budget, but they don't have any time, guys, just so you know. That means I didn't do a single Facebook chat. not a single conference call, not one three-way call. I didn't do any blogging, no press releases. Heck, I didn't even pick up my phone. Honestly, I feel like David Wood right about now, because he was the guy that was the founder behind Empower Network, and that's the strategy that he does. He does blogging and he does online. So those the two that he found for him that worked for him were blogging, and he does social media. And then he does a webinar like this to lasso people together and share his story. So, and then I say these stats are off the chart. So I spent $560 on paid traffic, right? It generated for me 228 leads, or people that opted in. The total sales that it generated was 23. The total new team members that came on board was 14, and it generated a total revenue of 583. I posted this when the campaign was what I call profitable. That means that the money coming back was more than the money putting back in. So I'm past break even, if that makes sense. So I invested $560 into my business, but it was already creating revenue coming back, and by the time the campaign was done, it probably generated about $750. So I took $700 and I put it back in to my business. So from that $700, I generated, I believe, 1,000 qualified buyers that go to the page, and those stats continued. From that, I had my first $3,000 day, right? And then I took $1,400, I bought 2,000 qualified buyers, and boom, that's when the gateway opened, right? That's when I had another couple $3,000 days, the $7,163 day, and it's been no looking back since then. So what does it say at the bottom? Wilma, call Betty and Barney Rubble. We're going out for some T-Rex steaks and jungle juice. Message me if you have a budget, but you have no time to run a business. Now, this particular post on social media, guys, got me about 18 new inquiries of people that wanted to find out what I was doing. So what do? I just send them my link. The video is going to do all of the explaining, all of the selling, everything. So I would send out a link, and then about 20 minutes later, I would get a commission notification on my phone. Guess what? Somebody just took the $7 trial. Oh, guess what? Somebody just took the 6-figure shortcuts upgrade. So I continued to reinvest my income back into the business until I did what? Break inertia, right? And that's where we're at right now, right? So I'm at the 2-month mark. The team's gelling together now. We got some great success stories that are coming out of the team. But I took massive action on the front end, guys. That's the key. Now, the other thing that I did to set myself apart was that I built what I call a customized lead capture page. That means that I want to set myself apart from the rest of the people, right? So if you're doing a campaign and you're paying for traffic, when I was using the regular lead capture pages, I had about a 18 to 20% conversion rate. That means that if I had 1,000 people go to the page, that it would generate 180 to 200 new leads. When I changed this lead capture page to this particular one, my opt-in rate went up to 34.9%. That's double. That's double the amount of conversions just from this little tiny change here, guys. So it's important to understand that you need to be the CEO of your business and monitor and track your results and make little tweaks so that you can get keep your pulse on the business. Now, these are the profit maximizers. Now, this has obviously generated more than this now, but I started with the Empower Network about 2.5 years ago, and I've already been through the test market stage with their products. Okay, so I can tell you that from a standpoint of somebody that does test marketing as an entrepreneur, I test everything, guys. Okay, so I can tell you that I've sort of, I call it taking a hit for the team. I've already done it. I've already spent the money. I've already done the market testing. I've already gone through all of the consumer awareness and gotten a pulse, and I can tell you that not only do the products convert, but they're the best training and educational products currently on the marketplace. Okay, so I've already finished the test marketing, right, on behalf of the team. So here's the strategy to becoming a true leader and getting a following. We're going to have a number of different modules, training, that you're going to be able to learn to increase your skills, okay? So here's how you get a following. You're going to learn a strategy. You're going to implement the strategy and get some data, just like what I did, and then you're going to share the results. That's how you get a following. So instead of, you know, a lot of people get into this industry and they're like, have I got a deal for you? Or, oh man, you got to try this product, man. It's got these antioxidants in it. I feel great. I'm sleeping great. I'm feeling great. You've got to try this product. I'm not interested. You'll just piss people off if you do that, guys. If you use this strategy, you will become the attractor factor. If you say, on social media, you know, hey guys, listen, I just wanted to let you know that I just discovered this little-known secret on Facebook on how to generate 20 to 50 leads in a day. If anybody's interested, hit the like button, and I'm going to do a webinar, right? So now you move yourself into a leadership role. So who's going to be your audience? All the different companies, all the people that are looking to make money on the internet or to make money with their network marketing or home-based business. You're going to have the attention of everyone, right? Nobody's going to be saying no because they all want to learn the strategy that you've already gotten success from. So this is truly how you become the attractor factor and create a following of people. Now, with the strategies that I teach, I started doing some strategies on Facebook maybe about 24 months ago. And in that period of time, with one of the strategies that I teach, I generated a following. That's not the friends part. That's an actual people that's saying, wow, that's good content. I want to follow this content, of almost 5,000 people, guys, using these strategies. So I'm not guessing here. I'm telling you from actual results and implementation that this really does work. And anybody that implements my strategies that I teach, they do have success. Typically, they can turn their life around in a 90-day period of time if they take massive action. So here's what I did to create a six-figure income in 30 days. Okay, now by six figures, what I mean is more than $8,300 a month. Okay, that's a six-figure yearly income. If you can do $8,300 your first month or higher, right, you're on track to make six figures coming out of the gate. So first thing I needed was something to sell that would pay me high commissions, right? Because I don't have a lot of time. I've only got 30 days. I need something that's going to pay me the highest commissions possible. It needed to be affordable with a low entry price and then upselling. Now, I typically recommend if you're selling anything on the internet, it should not be more than $7 to $25 entry, preferably to get the most amount of conversions, but definitely under 60 bucks. Now, why is that? It's under the radar. It doesn't create a red flag for husband and wife. It's not going to create an argument. They're not going to get into some battle because the wife or the husband spent $7 on their credit card. Okay, so something to keep in mind. People needed to be able to become profitable in 30 days with a massive action strategy. I wanted to be able to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort in the shortest time possible. And I can only do that with upsells to higher ticket commissions. Because keep in mind, if I'm shooting for $8,300 and I can make a $3,000 commission, I only need a couple, right, in my first month in order to peak past the $8,300. The corporate videos on their own need to convert, guys. This is imperative. If you want to make automated income, the story that's provided in the videos has to be convincing, so convincing that people pull out their credit card without talking to you. Critical. Without asking you questions, without having to have a whole list of stuff to go over. They get everything answered. They get third-party testimonials, everything in the corporate videos. It's imperative that they convert on their own. And there needed to be marketing training provided that would help people learn new skills. Now, why do I say that? Let's say that I said to you you say to me, Darren, well, what do you do to make 7 figures? And I go, oh, well, you got to be good on video. And you go, well, I'm not very good on video. I'm really super shy. Well, I guess I can't do it then. Right? You don't want to be in that position. That's why you need a menu of, you might be a phenomenal writer, right? You might be great on social media, right? You might be a person that doesn't like doing videos, but Google Hangouts, I mean, that's just like a natural for you. So you want to find what works for you. And you don't have to be good at everything if the training helps the people on its own to find what they like. So these are the exact steps that I took, guys, exactly. First thing that I did was I got iPass, which is the platform, and I got something called an autoresponder that's going to send out emails on its own without me. Once it's loaded, somebody might get an email on day 1, then another one on day 2, day 3, day 5, day 7, day 10, right? So it's going to work for me while I'm sleeping. So that's step 1. Step 2 was I got the Black Card membership. That was going to allow me to start having $3,000 days, right? Now, is every single day going to be a $3,000 day? No, right? But as you start to pick up momentum and steam, and you do more marketing and get more traffic and you know, step into a leadership role, they do start happening more and more often. As you build your team, they're going to start happening even more and more often. Now, keep in mind, guys, to become a millionaire, you only need to make 333 sales. Now think about that. That's pretty low, right? Some companies, you'll need 80,000 people to become a millionaire. This is the fast track. This takes you literally to another area of income so fast because you've got the potential to be able to go there. It's like taking the high road instead of the turtle road. So then what did I do? I purchased some paid traffic. That's qualified buyers. Now, my particular traffic that I got, my traffic source was mysuperherotraffic.com. And you know, if you go there, you'll see my story, and you can see, well, how many qualified buyers do I want? Do I want 300? Do I want 500? Do I want 1,000? Do I want 2,000? You just pick the number you want, and then you give the link, and then there's going to be that amount of people sent to that page. The next thing that I did was I reported my results on social media. I showed you some of the graphics that I had done where I showed where I was ranking on the leaderboards, or the amount that I had made, or I might do a story like, you know, hey guys, you know, this is really cool. I was sitting here at this Chinese restaurant, you know, eating beef and broccoli and sipping on some Chinese tea, and my phone started going off like a Las Vegas slot machine, and what do you know, I made $75 while eating lunch, right? It wasn't a lot. It was a little tiny story. You know, if you want to find out how you can make automated income while you're at work or while you're sleeping, and you've got a budget but you've got no time, message me, right? So those little stories reporting on social media is what got my phone ringing and people starting to inquire. Then I continued to email my list, showcasing my results and providing more value. This right here is what you would call a value-based webinar, right? A value-based Google Hangout where I actually show people. There's no you know, rocket science here, guys. This is really it. You get qualified buyers to a lead capture page, and then you build a relationship with them. That's really as simple as it is, okay? And then I show other people how they can duplicate these same results by completely opening up the vault and really showing them how easy this process really is. It's not this huge mystical, magical thing that people think. It's actually a very simple thing to implement. If you've got a budget, you've got no time, you set the system up, and you send qualified buyers to a page, and it does the rest, right? Now, obviously, you're going to want to track it and monitor it, but that doesn't take a lot of time. Not like, you know, 8, 12, 15, 18 hours a day that some people put in. You know, maybe you put in an hour, right, or half hour, right? Doesn't take hours every single day. So this is where I got my traffic or my leads to go to the page, mysuperherotraffic.com. And I promised you guys that I would give you a bonus here, and I can tell you that this will truly take your life to another level because you will get so clear on what it is that you want and why it is that you want it to take your life to a completely different level. So you go to darrenlittle.com/unstoppable, and there's about maybe a 19-minute webinar there, and I highly encourage you to do the assignments that I talk about in that particular webinar. So what I would encourage you to do now is to get back to the person that invited you to this particular webinar. Get started, guys. You're going to see this thing happening here in the next 90 days and look back at this time on the 1st of January and go, oh my God, I can't believe it. I was right there. I was right there. Why didn't I take action, right? So let's just go out here quickly to Tony. And Tony, maybe you can share where we are here. Okay, are we back? Okay.
I'm here.
So Tony, maybe just share with people, you know, what's your vision now for 2015?
2015. I kind of set my goals years in advance, but I don't get into anything that I can't pull 7 figures out of in the first 12 months. I'm just not remotely interested. It's too much work. It's not worth it. I'm at that point in my life where I need that, but I need it recurring. So for me to do that, we spoke of a figure there of 333 people, which is, you know, it's less than one a day. But obviously, I'm not gonna do all that on my own. So my strategy right now is very similar to yours. Is keep increasing the paid traffic. So at a certain point, the break and inertia point, keep increasing the paid traffic. So for the first little while, let it generate, keep reinvest. And you know, one of my intentions, and I put this down about 2 weeks ago, I intend to work with someone that's going to have a $30,000 day by the end of May. And now to some people, that just seems so far off the mark that the parameter is like, this guy's lost it. I've not lost it. I'm deadly serious. I've seen stuff like this happen, not to the same degree, but my intent is what we do here is so simple. I know that following the strategies, as I'm already seeing, people are just going on the trial and it's converted on its own. So all I need is more people going on the trial. At the moment, I've not actually stepped up my paid marketing campaign. I was working on a few other things, and now, like January the 1st, go focus on this 100%. So my thing now is to get that paid traffic generating and increasing and spinning over. Because, you know, there's probably no upper limit on that. You know, if I can buy 100,000 people on paid traffic, but through self-financing, if I can do that on a daily basis, I can see no reason whatsoever why $30,000 days are not conceivable. So that's my intent. My other intent is to do less and less and automate more and more. So as we're talking here, there's a couple of things that that I need to learn new skills, and one of them is the PowerPoints. You know, the Hangouts I do, as you know, I do lots of them. The videos, I do lots of them, but the tech stuff is it's like scary stuff for me. You know, it's just like, ooh, I don't want to touch this button. But now I'm getting more and more into it, and I realize for me personally, that's the next skill set I need to master. So by the end of this month, I will have these PowerPoint things down that you've put together, and there's a few other little things to automate it even more. Screen capture pages, whatever. I don't know the terminology. That's how far behind I am.
Making the little you know, the graphics on PowerPoint. I got to tell you guys, that's one skill as a marketer that if you learn how to just, you know, take a screen capture and put some copy and put an arrow and a circle, right? That gives you a lot of power in marketing on social media.
Yeah. So, you know, there's as we're doing this, I'm thinking, you know, I'm kind of thinking, right, what do I need to do to implement to follow and copy? I mean, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, I'd never done a Hangout in my life. The best one I ever did, I forgot to press the record button on it. I mean, that's how useless. It was the people that were on it said, that just changed my life. Can we get a coffee? I'm going, oh, this coffee, no idea, I don't know how it works. So, you know, it's a skill set, and it's like, you know, I just go right into it, make my mistakes, learn things. But yeah, my intent here is the same as it was before. I'm traveling this year. That's my plan. So the more automated I can get, I don't care if I'm up a mountain and on the west coast there, as long as my phone keeps sending me text saying you earned money, ping, 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 ping. I don't care where I am. So that's my strategy, is to automate even more and generate even more interest. So I see the generation of the interest, obviously. To get the initial generation is the paid traffic, and from there, at some point, it will be, well, you know what, all I need to do is just keep adding this and topping it up every day, as it were. So that's my thing, is to do less and create more, if you've got to sum it up in one word, which I truly believe is everyone's ideal. Do less and create more.
Fantastic. Now, Mary, maybe you can just share as well. What's your vision now that you've learned how to clone yourself? Now that you've learned how to leverage an automated income, what do you see happening for you in 2015? You're muted, Mary. Mary, you're muted.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got this vision of 444 in my mind. I see myself doing 444 sales this year, and that's what I'm going for. You know, I believe I can do it. I see it already there. It's all right here. I truly believe it. I feel it. I got chills right now. It's happening.
That's awesome. Okay, guys, so you got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes. All I can tell you is this, guys, is that, you know, it all starts with a decision. It all starts with you,
totally,
your personal breaking point. Drawing a line in the sand, saying enough's enough, I will no longer stand for my reality the way that it is, and making that change, throwing your hat over the wall, and trusting the process, guys. We have amazing leaders on board. We have phenomenal training. We have personal coaches that can help you to take your life to the next level. So get back to the person that invited you to this call, take action, and we look forward to some great things ahead in 2015 and beyond. Have a great night.